Hi everyone, this is Ankush Bahuguna and I am here to do the most influencer thing ever. I am here to do a get ready with me for a brunch with Pinkvilla. As you can see, my skin looks like a glazed donut right now, but that's because I'm a dry skin person, so it's very important for me to moisturize my skin really well before I go in with my makeup because makeup tends to dry out your skin throughout the day. Anyway, let's begin. So I also see a pimple kind of popping up right here on my face. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this Acne Squad Breakout Terminator. It's like a spot corrector for acne. I usually do all of this before my makeup so that while I'm out during the day with my makeup on, मेरा skin care भी साथ साथ होता जा रहा है. And especially when you have active acne and you put makeup on it, by the end of the day it will definitely worsen. So it's always good to like put spot correctors before your makeup. And apologies for the bad hair. Every day in Mumbai is a bad hair day, as I've realized recently since I've moved here. Now we go in with a primer. This is the NYX Plump Bright. Actually, no, I want to use this one. Sorry. I want to use the Pore Minimizer Primer by Inside Cosmetics because it blurs out your pores like really well. So one thing I always do is I never apply the product directly on my skin. I take it at the back of my hand and then I go in. This is also mattifying, and especially on the under eyes, this primer performs really well. It better perform really well now that I've said it. I've actually been really enjoying this whole makeup journey. It's not been very long. I started this in the lockdown because I realized that I didn't have access to makeup artists, stylists, everything. And I used to shoot videos with my mother, and mummy ko bilkul makeup karna nahi aata. So I was like, chalo, someone has to step up and learn. And then I started doing experiments on her, like makeup experiments on her, and I started uploading it on Instagram. And I think people really connected with the fact that I was a makeup enthusiast, but I didn't know how to do it. So I think that was very relatable for people because there are a lot of people who love makeup but उनको नहीं पता कि शुरू कहाँ से करना है, कैसे करना है. So Wing It with Ankush has always been a journey about just the love for makeup and not so much about knowing it all. Like I'm not a know-it-all. I figure things out as I do them and I share the knowledge, whatever I gather. And now you can instantly see that because of this primer, my skin does look blurry, it's mattified, and now the makeup is going to sit on it very well. Okay, what do we start with? We start with eyebrows. So I take a spoolie brush and I brush down my eyebrow hair. And this makeup look is not just for women or a particular gender, it's for everyone. Makeup is for everyone. Whoever wants to wear it can wear it. I don't get the idea of makeup looks for men, makeup looks for women. This is an eyebrow pencil by Katrina in the shade Hazelnut. So I've brushed down my eyebrow hair and now I can see kahan par meri eyebrows mein gaps hain. And I will just lightly, very, very lightly, I think overdone eyebrows look very bad in real life. So just be very subtle. With makeup, you don't have to fix everything. You just have to enhance things. Don't go around concealing everything to the fullest. Don't go around filling everything to the fullest. Just make it a little bit better, and that makes a huge difference. So yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody can tell that I've filled my eyebrows, but that's the whole point. I like these kind of undetectable makeup looks because they don't take attention away from your personality when you meet people, I feel. I never want my makeup to be the biggest talking point when I meet people. I just want it to enhance the way I look and it makes me feel good, so that's why I do it. So the eyebrows are done, the primer is done, and now we will color correct. So for someone like me, my skin looks mostly clear, but I have very pigmented under eyes. Like if I just go straight away with a concealer, ये बहुत grey और ashy हो जाएंगे, and that happens to a lot of people. Sometimes you're like, मेरा concealer shade ठीक है, but concealer लगाने के बाद why do my under eyes turn grey or ashy? That's because you're not using a color corrector. Now this is a 2-tower packaging of my favorite color corrector. It's called Smashbox X Becca color corrector. This is in the shade medium dark. Let's not show the lid, it's broken. This is my favorite color corrector, and as you can see, I'm hitting pan on this because I love it so much. So the good thing about this is that usually when you use an orange color corrector, you have to mix it with your concealer, make a peach shade and then apply it. This is already a peach shade, which is very close to my skin tone, as you can see. So what happens is that sometimes I apply this and I don't even need a concealer on top of it. So you'll see it in just 30 seconds. So this is very high coverage. And always remember, with your base makeup, never drag your product. Always dab it in place. Especially with color corrector, you're supposed to apply it on the darkest area of your eyes. So if I just start swiping it, तो वो pigment वहाँ पर रहेगा ही नहीं जहाँ पे it's supposed to stay. So I know this takes a little longer, but you get used to it. And just also color correct the inner part of your eyes, because otherwise it looks like you have raccoon eyes. Like a lot of people with very pigmented eyelids or dark circles get a lot of pigmentation on this part, and I think a lot of tutorials skip this step, so I make sure I always mention it. So always color correct this part. And also you don't have to put color corrector on the whole under eye, just put it where the pigmentation is the most, which is mostly the inner side. बाहर वाली side पे usually इतना pigmentation होता नहीं है, so I put the product here, I blend it here, and then whatever's left on the brush, I just drag it out. The purpose of this product is to not conceal, it is to just cancel out the darkness, because according to the color wheel, orange cancels out blue and purple, and your dark circles always have like a blue or purple tinge to them. I love creating makeup content. I feel that it's the best thing that has happened to me as a content creator. Okay, this is dirty. This is the Charlotte Tilbury contour wand. And guys, to be very honest, when you use products for a long time, this is how they look. They look scratched, they look pichka hua. This is how it is. This is the reality. This is a contour wand, and what I'm going to do is my favorite technique in makeup. It's called underpainting, which means that you put your contour, your blush, everything before your foundation. Because what happens is if you put this over your foundation, sometimes you end up putting too much and then you don't know how to blend it and your whole base makeup is ruined. So what I usually do is, and this helped me as a beginner, so I would always recommend this to beginners. What I do is I just contour my face like along the cheekbones, and thank the Lord I have beard. I don't have to show you the absence of my jawline because that's very difficult to contour. And I just contour the sides of my nose, and yeah, that's it. I think that's all I contour. And even if you go overboard in this step, it's okay, because iske upar abhi foundation aa jayega, BB cream aa jayegi, so it's going to be sorted. Now I'm going to take this brush, and with contour, don't spread it around. Spread it in the same shape where you applied it, because contour is a shadow. If you apply it all over your cheeks are going to look muddy and grey in real life. Like camera pe acha lagega, lekin in real life people will be like, why is he looking so muddy? The stuff that you put all over your cheeks, that's a bronzer. There's a difference between a bronzer and a contour. This is a contour. Contours are always slightly greyish and dull browns. Bronzers are chocolate brown. And I don't know if you can tell, but when I look in the front, it looks like there's a shadow happening under my cheek, and that's the purpose of a contour. And now along the nose also, I'll just, and fingers are the best tools. This is, and now you can see that the nose does look slimmer. There is a definition to the cheeks, and I can actually put more. Because I know इसके ऊपर अभी foundation आने वाला है, तो ये सारा छुप जाएगा, so I can go a little overboard. पहले बंदर बनते हैं, फिर सुंदर बनते हैं. That's just the process of makeup. Done. I am done with the contouring. Now let's get to the next step, which is a foundation or a BB cream. Today I feel like my skin already feels very good, so I don't want to go with unnecessary coverage on my face, so I'll go with a BB cream. This is a tinted moisturizer by Smashbox Halo. Tinted moisturizer, BB cream, same thing. This is very, very good. And if you're confused about your shades in foundations, whatever, BB creams are much easier to begin with, because BB creams only come in 3-4 shades and they're so sheer and transparent that 1-2 shades ऊपर नीचे चलता है, पता नहीं चलता है skin पे लग के, because it's a very transparent layer on your skin. So if you already have clear skin, or like if coverage is not what you're looking for, instead of foundations, just get BB creams. So again, I take this brush, like a flat, dense brush, which I can press against my skin. Like I can't use something like this because it's so flimsy that I won't get the sort of stay with the product that I want. So I'll take this and I start with the cheek area, because that's where I want the most pigment. I start with the cheek area, and I'm not doing the under eyes right now because that's where the concealer will come. And then, very important, I don't go over the contour. I go under the contour like this. I know it looks patchy right now, but just give me 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 1 minute. Like I used to miss these areas on my face and it used to look very odd. So don't miss these tiny little areas and the forehead. And as you can see, it's not really making too much of a difference to my skin, but that's the whole trick, that you keep it minimal so that when you meet people, you don't look drastically different. I mean, if you're into that, then sure, great, there are no rules. But I like my skin to look like skin. I like my skin texture showing. Also, I feel that I'm enjoying my makeup journey so much because as a content creator, sometimes you just get bored of what you're doing and you want versatility. And I started as a comedy content creator, and then this happened, and this is a new skill that I'm learning. So it's so thrilling, the fact that my audience has seen me do comedy for so many years and now they accept me for this also, which is so different from comedy. Like I don't know if there's any other creator who's doing comedy and makeup both. But that's the best part of being a creator, that you create your own things the way you want them to. You're not dependent on 10 people approving what you're doing. It's like, it's you, it's your audience, and you say what you feel like. You can be yourself, you can make the kind of content that resonates with you, and you will find like-minded people, because on the internet there is an audience for everyone. And now I will, with whatever's left on my brush, I will just quickly dab it over the contour, just so that there is an even layer on top of it, so that it doesn't look like a patch of contour on your face. And then the same thing with the nose. I'm keeping this makeup routine simple enough so that you can stop at any step and you're done. Like you can be done here. Now, this is good, but I feel like I need a little more coverage on my under eyes. So I'm using a concealer that is my exact shade. I'm not going for a lighter concealer. This is the PAC Take Cover Concealer in the shade, not written. It's Birthday Suit. I think it's Birthday Suit. Yes, pretty sure. This is Birthday Suit. This is my exact shade. I don't like the idea of bright under eyes. I feel हमने जितने लोगों को देखा इंटरनेट पे bright under eyes and then baking करते हुए, all of them have flat under eyes, so it looks good on them. But someone like me who has like hollows under their eyes, like there's a proper गड्ढा here, rain water harvesting कर सकता हूँ मैं, उन पे अच्छा नहीं लगता है bright under eyes because it gives like a very ashy look. So what I'm gonna, again, I forgot my own rule. You're not supposed to put product on your skin directly. So you take it at the back of your hand, because if you apply concealer directly on your skin, you might apply too much. Like when you do this, you start realizing how little product you actually need. So again, I will concentrate the product where I need the most coverage, which is mostly the inner part of the eye, like right here. And then I will keep dabbing it till it blends. You shouldn't be seeing these boundaries between, like set boundaries in your personal life, not in your makeup. Now, even at this stage, like I see that this pimple is showing a little bit, so मैं इसको spot conceal कर सकता हूँ. So with your concealer, just start spot concealing whatever things that you don't want to show. And I feel that makeup routines have to be very personal and individual. Like some people are very much into concealers and blushes and some people are not, and that's fine. Like completely depends on your face and also what you want to enhance on your face. So I feel that the best part about my face is probably my cheekbones. So I want the attention to be on the cheekbones. So I feel that your approach to your makeup usually it is to hide things, but it should actually be to enhance things. And it's okay if they're not fully concealed, because the pictures that you see online, they're all edited. They're shot in good lighting. तो perfect तो किसी की भी skin नहीं लगती है. Makeup के बाद आपकी skin में और texture ही add होगा. So you have to be okay with that. So now, as I can see, my base is mostly done. Now what happens is sometimes when you do your base makeup, your face starts to look very flat. And I want some definition around my cheekbones more. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna bronze. Sorry. This is the Charlotte Tilbury. This is what it looks like. This is the shade 2. This is the shade 2. And again, with bronzer powders, be very careful because your face can look orange very quickly. I'm using the same contour brush. I tend to use the same brushes. I don't want to use too many brushes. So this is what I do. I just dab it twice. Tap it a little bit so that the excess falls. And now you put your contour here, right? Now take the bronzer a little above it and on the sides of the face. And again, you're not going to see a major difference after I do this, but you will see a certain sort of warmth on my face. You'll see like slight sun-kissed tan effect on my face, and that's exactly what I want. I use the bronzer mostly on the sides of my face, like right here, mostly, and then I just pull it in a little bit, and then I blend it into the contour, because otherwise contour can look a little grey. And this is more, as you can see, the contour was very grey. This is more chocolatey brown, if I may say so. So it adds this warmth to your face, and your face doesn't look dull. Also, it creates a very nice contrast between your cheeks and your this area. So this looks brighter, this looks more lifted. Also, you can bronze the top of your forehead, and that will make your forehead look a little curved, which makes it look shorter. So if you have a big forehead, bronze your forehead. And you know, when you see this celebrity looks with sun-kissed makeup looks with like this glow happening on their face, it's the bronzer. But don't go overboard. You shouldn't be able to see कि किसी ने bronzer लगाया है. So I'm very tempted to do more, but I know that you can see that there's like a slight tan situation happening here, and I will stop right there. Now I'll take a lighter concealer. This is the Plum concealer. I love this one. It's called 115P Pinched Blush. Now this is a pinkish concealer, which means that it will also slightly color correct my under eyes more, and it's also a lighter concealer. I usually don't use lighter concealers, but this one I will not use to brighten my under eye. I will use this to enhance my cheekbone instead. So I'm trying to create highlights on my face basically. So I'm going to put this on my cheekbone. This is like, you can say that this is like a matte highlighter. Like instead of using like a shimmery highlighter, I'm just making this area lighter than the rest of my skin. And that also kind of distracts from your hollow under eyes, and you know. Now, I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's a slight lift happening on my face because of the bronzer and the lighter concealer. And now I'll just blend the bronzer again so that there's no like boundary, no boundaries. I'll also take the lighter concealer again. And this is also one of my favorite tricks. Now see the difference. I'm going to take a little bit, and on my nose, I'll put it right here at the beginning of my nose, okay? Like right here. I'm going to put a little more because it doesn't look like you guys can see it. So I'm going to put a little more right here, and I'll put a little more right here. Do you see that? Now when I blend it out, you'll see that my nose automatically looks a lot more chiseled. And just make sure when you're contouring your nose, side se wo line na dikhe. Like agar side se wo line dikh rahi hai, to just blur it out. You're not supposed to see any lines. But yeah, I think this makes my nose look pretty sharp. Time for some blush. This is the K by Katrina. This is the K by Katrina Coral Charm. It's a orangey blush. I don't usually use blushes, but I feel like showing off. So just taking some and I'm tapping off the excess. And with blush, now the thing is आपने contour भी लगा लिया, bronzer भी लगा लिया, and some people just don't know where to put what, and they end up covering their entire cheek. How I like to take it is that with the blush, apply it at the apples of your cheek, very light-handed. Oh shit. Not like this, very light-handedly. Like right here. And now just wipe off the brush and just blend this into your bronzer. So that there's some sort of pink tinge happening to your cheeks. Can you guys see there's like a slight pink tinge happening to your cheeks? But you can't really tell what it is. It looks like just the natural blush, blood rush to your face. My favorite makeup product though out of all of these has to be the color corrector. I think it's a game changer because none of this would look like this if my under eyes, if you could see the dark under eyes, then you would not be able to notice any of this. Now another tip that has really helped me, now we're going to set our concealer and everything, because we get done with all the liquid cream products first, then we go with the powder products. We start with the under eyes, and now the thing is that I put my concealer, I went ahead with the rest of my makeup. Now under eyes pe thodi bahut creasing hui hogi. So before you go with the powder, always take your concealer brush and again blend it out so that you're removing any creases. Because if you're setting your under eyes when it already has creases, it's obviously going to enhance. Now I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finish Setting Powder. It's great. It's an expensive product, but it's totally worth the money because of the finish that you get. Also, one trick that completely changed my makeup game was instead of using a brush under your eyes, use a makeup puff. It changes everything. This is like a triangular, reminds me of a pizza. Take this. This is how much I've taken. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to dab it at the back of my hand so that all this product goes inside the puff. Because if you just put it directly, you're just caking up your under eyes for no reason. Just do this much. This is the product. And just look up and press onto your under eyes. Just press and set your under eyes. And what happens is it sets your concealer, it also mattifies your entire under eye. So now when I turn my face, when the light hits my face, you can see this hollow because of the shine, because my makeup is reflecting. But here, because I've mattified it, you can't really see that there's a depth here. So you're kind of distracting people from your under eyes, which is the point. So that's why I really like powdering my under eyes and making them matte. Like I feel that under eyes, if you have hollow under eyes, your under eyes should never be dewy. Even if you're going for a dewy makeup look, make sure you're mattifying your under eyes for sure. See, there's an instant difference in the way your face looks. This under eye suddenly looks much flatter. And now the rest of the face, you can set it. What I like to do is I like to take a thicker brush, like a dense brush. I take the same powder. You can also not set the rest of the face, depends on how much your skin creases. Like the smile lines crease. So what you should do is you can also set your smile lines because this area creases a lot. You can set the center of your face because this gets greasy and oily. So use this for any area that you really want to like set 100%. The rest of it can be dewy. Like now that you see this is matte and this is dewy, so your attention automatically goes to the cheekbone instead of the under eye. So I think that's the whole point. Now, but if I were to mattify it, because some people, it's Mumbai, it gets greasy. Just quickly dab it on top of your skin. So this also kind of blends everything into one another and you can't really tell if I'm wearing a contour, if I'm wearing a bronzer, blush, it just looks very seamless. It looks like I'm naturally blushing, even though I've been left on scene by multiple people. So just do this. On the forehead, my forehead it's dry, but it also with makeup sometimes looks greasy. So this is it. If you're not confident about the lighting wherever you're going, like if you're going to a shadi, if you're not confident about the lighting, always go for matte makeup because dewy makeup in bad lighting can look very greasy and oily. One more thing. Now, a lot of people have pigmented eyelids and even my eyes are pigmented. Now to solve that, I'm not going to wear I don't want to wear any eyeshadow, but if I leave it like this, it looks like I have raccoon eyes because it looks darker than the rest of my skin. So I just take the same powder again. I take a smaller brush. You can also use a compact powder because it has more coverage. This is more like translucent. And just mattify your under eyes. Again, if there's no shine, वहाँ पर attention नहीं जाएगी. And it will just make them look a little brighter. And this is the third time I'm going to say this, but this is genuinely the last step. No, it's the second last step. Sorry. मुझे सब दिखाना है. मैंने 2 साल में जितना सीखा मुझे सब दिखाना है आज. So I'm going to take a brown eye pencil. It's a really cool trick. Instead of black, if you're new to eye makeup, just use a brown. And what I do is I tight line the inner part of my eye. But yeah, it's just tight line and you will see that the eye shape gets enhanced without looking like eye makeup. But a lot of people who have very sparse eyelashes, उनकी eye अगर आप liner ना लगाओ तो आपकी eyes का shape नहीं दिखता है. This is I use the color bar eye pencil in the shade. It's a brown. Yeah, it's a brown and I like it because it looks softer than black. And also when black smudges, it becomes grey. When brown smudges, it still is brown. So it's going to look like a natural pigmentation. So I stay away from like black eye pencils usually. This is done. I don't think I'm going to do anything more and pakao you guys more. But where is my makeup setting spray? Where is my makeup setting spray? So guys, there's no need to set your makeup when you've done it well. It's okay. It's all right. हो गया मेरा. Bye. All right, that was it. It sounded like a complicated routine, but if you don't talk and you just do your job, it's going to be over in like 3 minutes. And I had a lot of fun. Thank you so much for having me, Pinkvilla. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this and learned something from it. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, please do. I am shameless.